Hey insurance, this is Tony Cañas. Late last week, Liz Ryan posted this message on LinkedIn. She received a message from one of her followers on LinkedIn. By the way, don't try to read it. I'll kind of tell you what it's about. It's a little long. It's a lot of text, but it's essentially this person's company announced that by late 2021, they will be going back to the office and employees will only be allowed a single work from home day per week. The same day every week. So if you choose Wednesday it is. Even though during COVID, the company hadn't missed a step and productivity hadn't dropped while everybody worked from home for a year. No conversation was had. The employees weren't surveyed. They weren't prepared in any way. Quite simply, an executive decision. You get an email saying, hey, starting in the fall, you're back to the office 4 days a week, period. The person reports that they're now job searching, and so is their manager, and so are many of their coworkers. Liz also included a survey with two options to see what her audience thought. Is this poor management or is this the right decision? The result? 82% of her 3 million plus followers opined that it is quite simply poor management. This should not be a surprise. There was no mention of the person's industry, but within insurance, I can assure you that forcing people back into the office is a bad move. And here's why. Number one, we're not making widgets. With the exception of a few claims people that are literally putting hands on a loss, 99% of insurance work can be done just as productively from anywhere. Number two, insurance unemployment has been between 1.5% and 2.5% for most of the last few years. And even right now, in the middle of the COVID recession, it's at 2.2%. We have no slack in our unemployment. This is an employee's talent market, and it's expected to continue being an employee's talent market for a long time. Number three, people have realized both that they can be just as productive from home and the immense waste of time that commuting used to be. Number four, given the fact that we have 30% more baby boomers than the average industry, we are facing a giant wave of retirements. And those generally more traditional boomers are being replaced at the executive levels by generally more open-minded and very pragmatic Gen Xers. And those Gen Xers are getting replaced in the middle levels by tech-obsessed and work-life balance-obsessed millennials. Number five, the Jacobson Aon survey of insurance hiring has found for the last 2 times that it's ran, so a month ago and 7 months ago, that has found that around 50% of insurance companies will have more remote people going forward, and about 70% will have more work from home days for the in-office employees. So your competitors are becoming more friendly to remote going forward, even post-COVID. Number six, most larger insurance companies were already at 1 work from home day per week before COVID. Some were already at 2 work from home days per week. Number seven, Gen Xers grew up with an iPhone in their pocket and went to school during a time of budget cuts. While colleges and universities moved many classes online, they have always been used to being able to get their work done from anywhere. For Gen Z, work isn't a place you go to, it's a thing you do. And especially the many Gen Zers who graduated in 2020 and have never been to the office. They are simply not going to put up with being forced back into the office 4 days a week. They're not committed to insurance yet. They'll simply go to another industry. Quite simply, if you force people to come back into the office, you're going to lose a lot of very expensive to replace talent to the other companies who remain more open-minded or who simply realize that they just can't take such a huge risk with their greatest asset. Does this mean that the office is dead? No, but it will need to be reinvented from a place where we all come to 4 or 5 times a week to do our job, from a place where we go to maybe once a week, maybe once a month, either for special activities like training, team building, and strategic work, all of which benefit from being there in person, or because we choose to, because the kids are loud, or because we don't have a good workspace at home. That's perfectly fine. This transition won't be easy. There are still many issues that we'll have to work through, not the least of which are: how do we hire remotely? How do we onboard remotely? How do we maintain the culture remotely? Most insurance companies are several decades or even over a century old, and they have been through a lot of changes in their history. They'll survive this change too. I guarantee it. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for listening.